So last night, couldn't sleep in the middle of the night, so I came out, finished out the hood right here. Same on this side, cleaned it up a bit. Got a spot back here we hadn't got, sanded that out, primed it. Last video I showed all this stuff. So all I'm using is one of these. That's a cylinder, like a Durablock, shaped like a cylinder. And this little flat one, this is 80, this is 180. I've just been kind of using the side edge of this to refine, because that's a little rough, but I mean it makes it all flow together. If I'm not shaking you around too much, some people don't like that, but I'm no Spielberg, that's for sure. But if you look down, you can see how that's gonna all flush out. Like the body line will go all the way back. Looks pretty good. Just working on that a little bit today. This side was really off, but this one's good to go. I'm happy with this one. You can follow that body line down, and it's hard to tell, but it's pretty good. You know, you can see a couple dimples right there and one right there, one up on the cowl there, but otherwise that's pretty sweet. So this door, as far as I'm concerned, is done, exception of this corner. I put a block back here and then knock this in just a touch. I mean, either it'll massage in or it won't. We won't go crazy. Got to finish up some touches on this one, but before we do, oh, I did. I fixed this up a little bit the other day. Could use a little more primer, but yeah, there's a little bit of work there. We might add a bit of fill. See those circles? There's a couple little chips there. We'll fill those, and then once we're done sanding those, these will be ready to sand. And then this is prime and shoot, which is great. Well, prime and sand and then shoot. The trunk lid still needs a little bit. The sail panel's good to go. The roof's okay. We're going to put a fat layer of epoxy primer on it and then sand it down. I still got to work this fender in the door. And again, it's real close. Probably going to be a few little spots and pinholes to fix when I'm done. Refine the body line up in here, just in case I took too much off. Once we prime it, we'll see that right away. This door is super nice, except right down there, we got to work that a bit together. I'm also going to put a thin coat right here, just to make sure this transition, it feels straight. But I know I took filler off when I blended the two together. Now that the handle's off, I'm going to kind of block that out again. Might need a skim coat. A couple little spots back here, but the hard part's done. This is all done, I believe. So hopefully we're close enough to do the trunk lid, the rear quarters, and the roof. And epoxy primer. We were going to do the hood that way too. The doors we don't have to. Well, we might do like a, at the end we'll thin it down a little bit, and then we'll do a like a sealer coat perhaps on the doors. You know, just so that everything is gray, so we're shooting over the same color everywhere. Get rid of whatever that pink is. The front fenders too, we'll do one coat. I have a feeling the whole car is going to end up with a coat of epoxy primer, but we'll just do one. We'll do the hood, maybe a couple of coats. The fenders and trunk lid, probably also a couple coats, maybe 3 coats on the roof. Doors will kind of wash it down so it's a little thinner. When I say wash it down, that's just an expression a guy I used to work for used to say that. But anyway, you just put a little bit of thinner up to a certain percentage so that you can use it as a sealer. And the cool thing is then you only got one product on the car. So if something fails or doesn't fail or whatever, like there's less chance of failure, they say, if you do like less products instead of having 10 different products. So a lot of this primer, keep in mind, I'm going to go over the whole car and sand it real quick before we epoxy prime it. So 90% of this stuff that I've been using more or less so that I could see the work. There won't be much of that left on the car. That'll all be pretty much gone when I go over the whole thing and give it a quick sand. So like all this gray that I'm putting here all ends up on the floor, but it is what it is. That's, you know, kind of using it like a guide coat, I suppose you could say. It's not the way I'd like to normally do it, but you know, this was a car where a lot of it was done and primed and then it had to be finished, and normally for me, I'd like no interior, no glass, no anything. Flood the whole thing with filler and a bit of guide coat and go to town, right? And then prime it, and then do your finish work, and then maybe prime it, seal it. But anyway, that's what we're working on today, fitting the trims. Thanks for watching.